Hi everyone, welcome to another Weekly Forex Forecast. My name is Justin Bennett with Daily Price Action. And in today's forecast, we're going to talk about the Euro USD, the Pound USD, the dollar versus the yen, as well as the Euro versus the yen. And we're going to wrap things up with the Australian dollar versus the yen. As you can tell, I do think there could be some movers in these yen pairs over the coming days, especially if we do see a risk-off scenario start to develop. So let's get to it right now. A quick disclaimer that today's video is for educational purposes only. All views are my opinion and are not intended as investment advice. Forex is a high reward, high risk business, and you should not trade with borrowed money or money you cannot afford to lose. See the description of this video for the full disclaimer. Before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button and also click the bell icon so you get notified every time I post these videos. Also check out the join button where you can become a member of this channel and receive 5 to 10 analysis videos from me every single week. I'll show you the key levels I'm watching and how I'm approaching that pair, so you'll get trade ideas from those videos, but you're also going to learn how I trade price action, and that's going to make you a better trader. First up is the Euro USD, and we finally got a breakout last week. This is something that we've been talking about for several weeks now. So we had been watching for a break either below this 110.75 area or above this descending channel top, somewhere up around 112. Now, something happened last week, or should I say confirmed last week, that did make me think a move lower was likely. And I mentioned this in the members only video last week, but back here, you can see how we had somewhat of a head and shoulders pattern. Now, I'll be totally honest with you, this to me wasn't an ideal head and shoulders pattern just because it didn't occur at what I would consider a significant swing high. Instead, it occurred within this descending channel. Okay, but you can notice how this price action that occurred back here, all right, was very, very similar to what just happened recently. Notice we also had what appears to be a head and shoulders pattern right here. So knowing that markets do like to repeat themselves, and also seeing this formation back here and the sell-off that occurred following that move, it was likely that this breakdown through here, even before the pair closed below 110.75, that it was likely to see a break lower and not higher. And that's exactly what we got on Thursday. So notice this candle on Thursday closed right below this trendline support. And remember too that this was a confluence of support, as it was the intersection of the channel bottom as well as this 110.75 horizontal level that has been a factor for months. So for the upcoming week, things are simple. As long as the pair trades below this channel bottom, okay, so right around that 110.70 to 110.80 area, the pair is bearish in my opinion. And just like I've been mentioning now for weeks, this 109.90 area will act as support. So I would expect buyers to come out and defend this area either this week or next, whenever we do see the Euro USD test that region. Okay, so as of right now, this 110.70 to 110.80 area is resistance and 109.90 is support. Now, we could see a more shallow retracement this week, just given the intensity of that Thursday and Friday sell-off. So in other words, we could see the pair just come up and retest some of these recent lows, perhaps this one back here. Okay, so notice we have this one, and then we also have some highs here, this low, and some of these highs. And that level is right around 110.40. Okay, so 110.40 could be another one to keep an eye on if we do see some type of reaction from that level if it is tested this week. And just like I mentioned last week, in the broader picture here, this could be the start of the next leg lower for the Euro USD. Okay, so notice how we've had this descending channel that's been in place now since early 2019, and we've had these downtrends followed by the short-term uptrends. Okay, so this right here, this breakdown last week could be the start of a larger rotation lower over the coming months. And that's going to be true as long as this channel bottom is intact as resistance on a daily closing basis. The British pound against the US dollar has been much more resilient than the euro, and it's also been a lot more indecisive. So while we've had a breakdown on the euro USD, we have not had that on the pound. Notice how we're still just moving in this sideways price action. And last week did find resistance though at a key level we've been keeping an eye on. So 131.70 was the resistance area that I mentioned last week. And you can see where Friday's session sold off from that area and also carved a bearish engulfing day. However, before you rush off to short the British pound, just keep in mind that, at least in my opinion, as long as this sideways price action continues, the British pound is going to be a tough one to trade. Notice what we had back here with this bearish engulfing day right here. Okay, so we had one here and that didn't matter much. The market still came up, took out the high, and then formed another one on Friday. So until we see a breakout here, until we see a true breakout either above this recent swing high up here or below these lows down here, okay, I think that the British pound is going to be a tough one to trade. And I also think that there are better opportunities out there. So in my opinion, what I would like to see here is an eventual close not only below this short-term ascending trend line, this one right here, I would like to see a move lower, a close below this level, but also a close below this ascending channel support. Because as it is right now, there is simply not enough space between these two levels to play a break of this trend line. For me, I need to see a break of this ascending channel before I look to short the British pound. So the GBPUSD does look a bit unfavorable to me, at least until we see a breakout here. But do keep an eye on these support levels, because a break below them could trigger a nice move perhaps down here into 127.70, perhaps even 125.70. And one thing to keep an eye on this week is Thursday, we do have a BOE rate decision. So that's something to keep an eye on, because if that does trigger a move lower and a break of these support levels, that's when we really could see that bearish momentum pick up, just like we saw back here. I wrote about the US dollar versus the Japanese yen last week, noting how the pair had been moving in this sideways consolidation. Now, this pair, in my opinion, as far as the yen pairs go, this one is probably the least appealing just because we have a lot of indecision here. And we also have the pair resting right now on this trendline support that extends back here from late 2018. Okay, so notice this trend line right here is the one that needs to break down in order to see the dollar yen move even lower this week, perhaps down to 108.40. Okay, so that's what's going to be key on Monday to see where this pair closes, if it closes back above this trend line or below it. A close below it again would take us down here to 108.40, perhaps even this ascending channel bottom that is just a bit lower than that 108.40 level. However, if we see the pair stay above this trend line, we could see another run at 109.70 resistance up here. And I'll mention something that I told members last week in the members only video, and that is that I think even though we could see an opportunity materialize with a close below this trend line, okay, so below this trend line for a move down here into 108.40, perhaps even a bit lower, personally, I think that the bigger opportunity here is going to come when we see a break of this consolidation. And what I would like to see, given that this is a short-term ascending channel, and we also have a longer-term downtrend, personally, I would like to see a break below this ascending channel down here just below 108.40 for an extended move lower, perhaps down here to 106.80, which was a key level we've been watching late last year. So 106.80 would be in focus if we do see a close below that ascending channel support. And if we get that, we could even see a move, an extended move all the way down here to these 2019 lows. So while we could see a short-term opportunity set up either this week or next with this trend line in play, I think that the bigger play here is going to come on a close below this channel support down here, which could reignite the downtrend that has been in place now for the last several years. The euro yen confirmed our suspicion last week with a close below this ascending channel support. So I mentioned this pair last week, and in fact I talked about it several weeks ago. We noted how this short-term ascending channel has defined this short-term uptrend within the longer-term downtrend. So what that means, at least for me, is that this is a corrective move. So this sell-off back here was the impulsive move. This is the correction, and a break below this support level could reignite the downtrend and also trigger the next impulsive move lower. So that's what we've been watching for, and Friday's session gave us just that. Now, this breakdown was also relatively easy to spot in the sense that if you'll notice, we had this retest of support back here. The pair came up, but instead of retesting the top of this descending channel support, we saw a rotation lower. Okay, so anytime you get repeated retests of a key level like this, it is an indication of an imminent breakout. So for the week ahead, I do think that sellers are going to want to defend this channel support, former channel support, as new resistance. And the first key level I'm keeping an eye on is going to be 119.20. Now just keep in mind that that level could be as high as this region up here around 119.70. All right, so that range right there could produce a bid. And furthermore, we also have several lows that could attract buyers, such as these through here, as well as these recent lows right here. So as of right now, you have to be careful trying to short this early this week because we could see a bounce from any one of these levels. So just for full disclosure, I do have a short position on here from 121.63. And I mentioned this actually in the Skype group that I run for higher net worth traders. So I entered there at 121.63, which I announced there, and I'll be looking to add to my euro yen short. However, I want to wait for some type of retracement this week. And I'm also going to be very careful of some of these support levels on the way down because I don't want to add right above a support level, which would lower my average. And then I'm in a situation where I could be in a losing trade. So I'm going to stay patient with my addition here and wait for some type of retracement back into resistance before I look to short the pair again and add to my position. But all in all, as long as the euro yen stays below this channel bottom on a daily closing basis, I do think that we could see a move down here into 119.20 and perhaps even a move all the way as low as this 2019 low down here at 116.20. Because just like the other yen crosses, we do have this short-term uptrend within a larger downtrend. Last but not least, we have the Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen. And I mentioned this one last week when it was trading right here. All right, so you can see that we had some nice follow through after this possible lower high. And again, I mentioned this in the members only video where we had this potential lower high after this one. And furthermore, the pair never did retest the top of this channel. So notice how we have these two highs back here, and we also have these lows. So anytime you see a market fail to retest a top like this, that could be a sign of weakness. Notice too, this aggressive sell-off, then we had this bounce, and then we had a lower high. So the combination of this failure to retest the channel top and this lower high did signal weakness in my opinion. And just like the euro yen, which we just discussed, it looks like we could have a repeated retest of this channel support. So we had a retest back here, and we may have another retest this week. So again, repeated retests of a key level like this does signal an imminent breakout. And in this case, it could signal an imminent break lower. If we do get that push lower, we could see 73.40 here based on these lows back through here as well as this high. Now a daily close below that could take the pair down toward 72.50 with a break there exposing 71.70, which is the inception point of this channel I have drawn. Just keep in mind that as always, it's going to take a daily close below channel support. So a daily close below this level in order to confirm the breakout and also expose some of these lower levels on the way down. And I wrote about this on the blog last week, but this would not be the first time that the Australian dollar versus the yen did this, because within this downtrend, notice how we had an ascending channel back here. So this ascending channel had several touches on the bottom of it as well as the top. And you can see what happened when the pair finally broke down. So we had this breakdown, this close confirmed it. Then we had this bearish rejection candle right here. And the rest was a 400 pip sell-off following that breakdown. So we know that this pair has the ability to do this when it forms these short-term ascending channels within this broader downtrend. So even though the angle of these two channels is different, the outcome could be the same. But as always, time will tell and there are no guarantees. So until we see a close below this channel support, there is a chance that we still could see a bounce from this support region. So again, a daily close below this level would expose some of these lower levels, but just keep in mind that this level will also attract buyers on the way down. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, leave your comment below, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. See you next time.